All right, guys. Angelo Christian here today with another great edition of Real Estate Insider. Today, we're going to be talking about the myth about debunking renting versus owning. And a lot of people, I know it's something that a lot of people are debating, especially in 2018. It's a hot topic, with rising rents, getting ridiculous. I hear people every single day saying that their landlord or their has raised their rent by $100 a month, $200 a month, or the condo or the HOA, the association they stay in, the prices of rent are just going up. And they also hear that, banks are tightening their standards to apply to get pre-approved to buy a home. So I kind of want to break down and look at, renting versus owning and actually what makes the most sense whether you're a family, a new family, or you're, a single guy or single girl, or you're, a newlywed couple. And allow, for me, I'm a math guy, so I like to, look at the math and see what does the math say, and so that's what I look at is, from the mathematical standpoint, what makes the most sense? Should you rent or should you own a property? And then make your decision from there. And you also have to look at, there's emotional sentiment. Location really does matter. It's very, very important, the location of where you're going to be. And so I'm a big advocate of investing in real estate just because it makes a lot of sense over the long term. And the other thing is that there's so many government incentives and programs out there and opportunities to be able to own a home that it almost makes it a no-brainer. If you can get $15,000 or $20,000 of assistance from the government to be able to buy a home, then you definitely want to take advantage of that and use those opportunities as opposed to throwing away money on rent. So today we're going to look at some slides and look at the math and compare to see what really makes the most sense. If do you rent or do you want to own a home? And over the long run, what makes most sense? And so, we're going to take a look at this today and kind of break it down. So the first thing is that, let's say that you're buying a home that's on the left-hand side and then renting a home is on the right-hand side. And so what you quickly see is that, you have your rent is $2,000 a month. And this is an example. And then you have any property tax or insurance you pay. So the total is $2,020 a month. And here your mortgage payment is $2,152, $2,152. So what you end up seeing, and it has here the cash flow difference, and from a difference of cash flow, like if you were going to lease that house out, how much cash flow that you'd make on this home. And clearly, it doesn't make any sense to rent in this particular example from a cash flow analysis because you don't own the property. Right. So how many people do you talk to? They live in a home for me, I'll give you an example of my life. I was spending 10 years ago, $1,650 wasting it on rent every single month. So that's like almost $19,000 a year just going down the toilet and making my landlord rich. And I can't use that money for anything. Right. If I got up and walked out, I didn't take anything with me. I had no title. I didn't own anything. So, but if you own the property, you're investing into the home and you're paying down the mortgage, right? So I talk to people all the time. They say, well, Angelo, my rent's $1,500 a month. I'm scared to buy a house because I don't know if I can make the payment. And I'm like, well, you're already doing it right now. You're making the mortgage payment right now. You're living in that apartment, spending $1,500 a month. So it's just a shift in the mindset that, hey, you don't have to throw your money away on rent, change that, invert that, invest that in your own real estate, something that you can call your own, something where you can have your privacy. You have to think about that because, every day we're getting older and older and time is passing and you want to make the best decisions with your life. You don't want to live life in regret and, you become, 80 years old and then you didn't do anything great with your life. That's one of my biggest things is make the most of your life and of yourself and do something very important while you're here on earth. And investing in a home, something that you can own and call your own, is extremely important. And, Chris, can we go to the next slide? This is just on a graphical, showing on a graph how much the cash flow difference is. Can you go down a little bit? So this is an important thing right here. What I was talking about with real estate appreciation. So let's say that you bought a $200,000 home. I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example in my life. So after I got out of renting, I bought a $229,000 home here in Houston, and so that was in 2009. Okay, and now it's 2018. All right, so I'm paying on the mortgage every single month, $1,500 a month, right? And over time, because it's real estate goes up in value. It appreciates most of the time, historically 3% over the last 100 years. So that property is going up in value as I'm paying down the mortgage. So I financed, 229, and so I sold that house 3 months ago, and sold it for 294,000. Right? And so if you take 294,000 minus 229,000, I made about $60,000, and probably like 50 something after paying the realtor commissions. So you can never do that by renting a condo or a townhome or a trailer, whatever you're renting, because you don't own it. So I made $50,000 on that deal, and I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to get up and go to work for that money. It came to me just by investing in the right thing. So that's what this is telling you here, that if you bought a $276,000 home and using a 5% appreciation over 9 years, your $276,000 would now be worth like $420,000, right? And remember, now you've paid that mortgage down, then you owe less on the loan, so you're increasing your net worth. So you can't argue with the numbers here. Even in a recession, even if property values went down, in the long run, they always go up. So I think it's extremely critical that you guys understand this, because, you don't want to, there's an old saying by Warren Buffett, and he says that, if you're in a room with a group of people and you're playing poker, and you don't know who the sucker is, well, then you're the sucker. All right. And I think that that's very true, that you have to be aware about what's going on, because if you're not, you can, kind of get the blanket put over your eyes and not be aware of what's the best thing to do with your time and your money. So, anyway, this is a really important one. And this is, yes, I mean, the amount of equity that you'll have, that's how much equity is, that's an asset, right? That's how much the appreciation of the home, how much equity you're going to build in your home. And so it's very powerful, because once you learn how to invest and make money, then you're going to have compound interest, and your investments are going to go higher and higher. And this is just another great example, by investing in real estate, the equity that you're going to get that you can never have by living in an apartment and throwing away thousands of dollars on rent. Okay. So, and obviously you have tax benefits. You have no tax benefits from being a renter. So when you own a home, you get to use the write-offs, right? The prepaid, the interest that you pay on your mortgage, you get to write that off. On a $276,000 home, on a 25% tax bracket, there's $38,453 in tax write-offs that you can have on your tax liability. You can never have that by paying rent at the Broadmoor or at the Luxor or Kirby, the Kirby Lofts or whatever, or wherever you live, whatever apartment complex or association. You're just paying the money for rent. You're not getting, you get access to the amenities, but see, it just doesn't, there's so many benefits. And, this is not because I own a mortgage company. It's just looking at the objective truth of it. Okay. So let's go to the next one here. And this is what I was saying earlier, that, okay, and in the long run, that 276,000 now becomes 428,000. Could you live in an apartment for 9 years and say, oh, well, I pay, I've given them $100,000, and when you leave, you can leave with 200,000? No, you can never do that. You're just going to get up and walk out and not take anything with you. So, just stop and think about that, because you're throwing that money down the toilet, and you could do something better with that money. And that's why I'm trying to tell you that if you can own a home and especially get zero down, would you keep throwing away that money on rent? You know, it doesn't make any sense. So, is there any more in here? So, okay, this is the buying overview, and basically is just showing you that by you buying a home, and this is in 9 years, that you'd profit $228,000 if you sold that house, or you'd have that much in equity in the home. So it's mind blowing. So anytime I think about someone that says, "Well, I don't know if I want to buy a home," I'm like, have you gone through the numbers? Have you thought it through? Because the pros and the cons, there's a lot more pros to owning the home than there are cons. All right, and so it just makes so many more benefits to own a house, especially now with these zero down grant programs, which we specialize in how we can help you to get you pre-approved with 0% financing. It's a no-brainer. So is there any other, was it the last one? So basically, guys, the takeaway here is, if you're contemplating about whether to rent or to own, the numbers support it. Your life supports it. You want to own something, an asset you can call your own, and be smart, invest in real estate, whether you're an investor buying in rental properties or your own property. We have all different types of loan programs, from FHA zero down, USDA zero down, construction loans, renovation loans, jumbo loans, self-employed loans. Give me a call directly, 832-431-6331, or reach out to us at support@angelochristianmortgage.com. We're one of the nation's largest loan providers in the country, specializing in helping families get into homes in all 50 states. We'd love to help you and service you. If you're looking to get more information, or drop us a line in the chat below if there's anything else you want to see. We do 3 shows every single week. This is Real Estate Insider. Please follow us on our social, our Twitter, our Facebook, and our Instagram. We'd love to hear from you if you have any comments. We're active on there all day, responding to people. And if we can help you or your family rise and transform and to get you guys into a home and elevate to get your life into a better situation, we want to help to make that happen. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you so much. Take care and peace out.